Hi, and welcome to Abby Pilates. Today we're focusing on rib flare. When you have your ribs stuck out really wide, it actually prevents you from being able to use your core properly. So we're going to use some core movement, some core mobility to really get into your ribs, to stretch and contract those ribs, your intercostal muscles, and hopefully that will allow you to get deeper into your core. With that being said, men, women, children, anyone can get rib flare. It's not just pregnant women and postpartum women, which is mostly discussed. There's also just not a lot of content out there discussing it. Some women are like, my ribs hurt, my upper back is stiff. You have all these signs and symptoms. Maybe your core is not working properly postpartum. These are all signs that you possibly could have rib flare, and it's so easy to fix. And so that's why I wanted to focus on it today. Okay, you guys, all you need today is a band and then a long stretchy band, and an exercise ball. I'm going to place my ball over here so that it doesn't roll away. And then we're going to take our legs to a comfortable sitting position. So if you aren't comfortable with your knees crossed, maybe your feet are up, knees are bent, find a place where you can sit comfortably on your mat. We're going to take the band behind our backs. Once the band is behind your back, we are going to crisscross it in front of us. Shoulders are down, growing off your sits bones. I have opposite sides of the band into my hands. We're going to set the lats down, shoulders down your back, squeeze the elbows into your sides. Take a big inhale into your rib cage. Exhale, pull the back of the hands out. Tighten through your rib cage. Your goal is to start feeling some movement here. Inhale into the ribs, keeping that band tight. Exhale, even deeper into the rib cage. In through your nose, out through your mouth, pulling the rib cage to kiss together. In the front more and more with every breath, trying to exhale even deeper. I'm going to be silent here. Let's take a few more breaths. Just try to connect with your ribs. They press into the band. They pull away from the band. 2 more. Really fill those lungs up. Last breath. Big inhale. And exhale. Tight, tight, tight. Okay, that band is going to go away. Maybe you felt some contraction already, or maybe you felt nothing at all. If you felt nothing at all, great sign that your ribs aren't moving properly. If you felt some movement or some more movement than you have lately, that's a great place to start. We're going to take that Pilates ball. We're going to place it right behind your back. So this is my T-spine. It's going to be between your shoulder blades, at the base of your shoulder blades, or where your bra would clasp if you're female. You're going to tuck the tail, roll back, and that ball is going to stay right at your shoulder blades. Head is going to go into your hands, and you're going to open up over the ball. So if you're up high and you're uncomfortable, you're going to drop the head back till it hits the ground to have a little more support. But the goal here is to keep the head in a neutral alignment with your spine and to open up over that ball. Now we're going to take a big inhale. I like to have my hands on my rib cage. I'll do that after a few so you can kind of see my ribs moving to start. But you guys, if you want, take your hands to your rib cage. You're going to take a big inhale. Flare those ribs out from east to west as wide as you can. Exhale. You pull the ribs together. Continuing, inhale, your breath 360, filling up your body. Exhale, ribs kiss in the front, and maybe you feel some pressure in your spine, in your ribs on the back side. As you pull your ribs down, they have to go somewhere, so they might be pressing into the ball in the back, and that's a beautiful thing. You want that happening. Inhale big. Exhale, try to smush your ball by pulling those ribs down. A few more here. Inhale. And exhale. It's nothing major, but you have no idea. All it takes is a little focus into your ribs for your whole core to start moving more properly, and for you to get that snatch waist back if you feel more barrel chested than normal, or if you feel like one side of your body, one set of your rib cage, a few of your lower intercostals are getting displaced. Let's do 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Squeeze those ribs down and together. Last one. And let it all go. Hands come out wide like goalposts. Take a big inhale. We're going to slide your elbows and wrists over your head as you exhale. Lengthen the arms. It's okay for those elbows to come off the floor. Inhale, pull your shoulders down. Exhale, reaching over your head. We're now adding that scapula movement in. Just trying to get more mobility through your ribs. Exhale, release. This should feel a little bit stronger through your back, the back side of your rib cage. Maybe a little bit into your pecs and your thoracic as well. 2. Last one, big inhale. Widen east to west. Let it all go as your wrists slide overhead. Take the head into the back of the hands. Feet still flat on the floor. Inhale into those ribs. Exhale to curl up. Now we're going to start getting into the abs, connecting deeper as well. I want you to hold a Kegel down low. Men, you're trying to stop your P flow. That's activating your transverse abdominals. Women, you have a Kegel fired at all times. When you exhale, you're getting deeper every time. When you inhale, you're just trying to hold it, okay? You want to pull the internal organs all together at the center of your body. Inhale back. Exhale, scoop. Inhale back. Ribcage flares. Close that ribcage at the top. Notice I'm not ducking my chin and yanking on my head. I'm lifting from my core, and it's almost as if the bottom of your ribcage is where you're folding in half from. Let's do 6 more for 6. Picking up the pace just slightly, but still moving with your breath. 5. 4. Chest doing all the work. 3. 2, belly button pulls down. Last one. Reach those fingertips long right by your hips. We're going to start to pump. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. If it's too easy, bring those legs at tabletop. Exhale. Shoulders out of your ears. Inhale into those ribs. Exhale tighter while you pump. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. Lengthening the legs out if that's still too easy. Inhale. And exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Inhale. Exhale. Pumping those arms. Getting deep into your core. Last set. Inhale. And exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Feet go on the floor. Fall over your ball. Exhale, let it all go. Roll to the side. We're taking that ball out from behind your back. Okay, next up, we're going to head flat on our backs with those legs and tabletop and fingertips at the sky with the ball right between wrists and knees, shoulders set down. So we just want to make sure we're not creeping up through our shoulders, because your lats, those muscles that help pull your shoulders down, when your lats are activated while you're doing core exercises, you can get deeper into those abdominal muscles. Okay, all we're going to do is make sure that we have a pelvic tilt so that our whole back is down. Pull those knees into the hands. We go 10. Don't forget your breath. Exhaling as you pull the knees into the wrists. Try not to move the wrists. Those knees are pulling in, keeping your lower back on the ground for 5, 4, ribs still pulling together. Don't forget 3, pressing them down and together. Last one, we're going to hold it. Hold that pelvic tilt. Now your wrists press down toward your knees. While you do that, you set those shoulders down, get your lats involved for 8, 6, belly button pulling the spine, don't let it peek up. 4, a nice long press before you release. 3, not bouncing on the ball, but pressing on that ball. 2, we're going to hold it here. Hold, little pulses, wrists and hands together. Make sure your ribs not flaring out. You see how my back lifts when we do that? We want to pull everything down and together and little pulses. You should feel some burn. I have some burn through the sides of my rib cage, through my abdominals, but my head, neck, and shoulders are relaxed. I feel no pressure there, which is great. We don't want any tension through that upper body. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. All right, we're going to take that ball, reach it to the ceiling. Take a big inhale where your ribs flare, your lower back comes off the mat, and you head to a little bit of extension. So we're going to go inhale, falling out of alignment, and then exhale, drive that ball right to the ceiling. Inhaling down, falling out. Sometimes when we fall out of good posture and then head right back into it, we're really doing a good job of teaching our body how to kind of get it back together. Inhale, fall out, tailbone pressing down, shoulders still down your back, right? Extension through your spine. Then we scoop, pull your pubic bone towards your nose, drive those fingertips up, shoulders are down, head, neck, and shoulders relax. So let's go for 10 more. 9, we're moving slowly and lifting. We're not crunching and jumping. We're using those muscles to elongate, lift, and grow. For 6. Lower back down. That's another thing. We can't drop back down. 5. You are lowering your body to the floor, not just collapsing. Belly button down, down, down. Don't forget about that Kegel. We're trying to get deeper into those transverse abdominals. 2 more. Get full extension through that spine. Last one. Exhale to lift. Okay, now that we've got rib cage, abdominals, some lower abdominals nice and fired, we're going to roll over because our core does not just consist of our abs, but our back extensors, our QL, our back muscles as well, right? Okay, so we have the ball underneath your diaphragm. So your rib cage, there's your rib cage, and the ball is going right in that hole right underneath. And we're going to have the elbows on the floor. If it's uncomfortable to start, totally normal. Try to move through that and try to work with it. If your ball is way too big, just take some air out, and that will help the extension not feel so aggressive and the pressure into your diaphragm also not feel so aggressive. Knees are bent. Feet are together. We're going to flex our feet. That helps activate the glutes and the hamstrings just slightly. So we're not doing a ton of work back there. We just want to hold gently with tension to stabilize from our lower spine all the way down. And that way we can work from our T-spine, which is where your rib cage is, your lumbar, your T-spine, all the way up, okay? All right, so we're going to take those elbows on the floor. Again, setting the shoulders down. We don't want to be in our head, neck, and shoulders. That part of our body is also holding still. We're going to take a big inhale, Flare your ribs super wide. Exhale, hug your ball with your ribs. You should feel your ribs pulling into the ball. Inhale again. Exhale, hug your ball. Now, when you inhale, you're going to fill up your ribs and your belly, letting your belly fall toward the floor. And on the exhale, you pull the belly with the ribs away from the floor. Inhale, one more. And exhale. The longer you're here, the more you might feel like you can come into a little bit deeper extension. Take that and shift as you need to. All right, so now we're going to get into it a little bit deeper. Take that inhale in your ball. Exhale, hug your ball with your ribs. Lift the elbows wide. Hold until all your air is out. And then inhale, elbows come down. Rib cage opens up. Exhale, elbows wide. Hug your ball. Inhale, elbows come back down. Lift the chest. I'm still holding my lower abdominals through that extension. Not letting them all the way out. But I am trying to fill my lungs up. About 6 more. Squeeze those scapula behind your back. Tight, tight, tight. So your scapula are squeezing. Your rib cage is squeezing. Then we lift. Inhale, elbows down, chest up. The extension getting deeper every time, but also the ribs should start to pull in tighter every time over that ball. So I start to pull them together, tight, tight, tight. Kegel heavy. Admittedly, like all Pilates instructors, I lost count. So this is 2. And up. Pubic bone pressing into the floor. Exhale, up and hold that lift. Now we inhale into the ball, hold. Exhale, reach the arms over the head. Inhale, wide. Exhale, reach up and away like Superman, rib cage pulling together. If you don't have the same range as me, that's okay. You stay in a range where you're able to perform with good form. If you'll notice, we essentially did these exercises on the other side with our back on the ball, and we're doing the same thing with the front side of our body on the ball in this prone position. Up and away with the elbows, trying to keep your head in line with your spine. Squeeze those elbows down. Exhale, reach up and away. Try to get your elbows a little bit higher every time through every exhale, like you're pushing away air. 3 more for 3. Inhale, up and wide. Long, beautiful necks for 2. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, reach up and away. Hold your belly in. We're just going to hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower those arms down. Reach your legs long. You should feel the backside of your body on fire, that T-spine having flared up, which is great. We want to work those muscles right around our scapula area. Okay, we're going to come off of our ball. The ball is actually going to go to the side now. Okay, we're going to come up. Okay, next we're going to take that ball and it's going to go right into our rib cage in a side lying position. These are, okay, next we're going to lie on our side. Doesn't matter which side you start on. I'm going to start with my right side body on the ball right underneath my rib cage, my elbow on the floor. Just make sure from head to tail is reaching long, that you're not forward or backward, or that your body's not at a weird angle. Just right straight down along your mat. I'm going to go hand on my hip to start because then I can really feel my shoulder set down and back. I'm going to take an inhale. On the inhale, I'm going to completely collapse. Inhale into my shoulders, into my rib cage. Everything relaxes. Exhale, press into my elbow and pull my rib cage off that ball. Get back to nice posture. Inhale down. Sink, shoulders, head, everything relaxes. Exhale, belly in. Press tall off your ball. Now you want to pull your rib cage together and up as you set your lat down. I said earlier that your lats are really important to set down to move through your core correctly. And this really enables us to feel that lat set down at the same time that we pull those ribs together at the center of our core. Nice and restacked, nice and long. About 6 more. Don't be afraid to sink and really get ugly here. When we get ugly, we're teaching our body that we can get it all back together, that we can find correct form. So when we are doing those more tricky movements as we regain strength, we're making sure that our body does it more naturally. 5, 4, maybe taking a different collapsed position. 3 with every breath. Just as long as you're getting that rib cage off your ball. 2. Last one. Really try to pull it away and hold. Good. Top leg is going to lift up and away, holding your rib cage off the ball. Little pulses up with that top leg right into your glute. Also really important. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Still pulling off your ball for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, headed over to the other side. We're going to make our way, but on our way, we're going to work the right side of the rib cage one more time. We're going to bring the ball, it's on my right leg, right side of rib cage, whatever side you just did, right into a crouched position. So it shouldn't be super comfortable. You might have to have your elbows on your knees or on your thighs, and you might be able to bring those forearms to the floor. Ideally, your forearms are on the floor. This is really great if you have asymmetrical rib flare. Constricting one side of your lungs is going to enable your body to push air deeper into the other side. So I like this a lot for people who have some asymmetry through their rib cage. This really helps you focus on one side, and there's not a lot of exercises that do that. So with your forearms on your mat, or if you have less mobility here, you can come to your thighs. Big inhale into your ribs, both of them. And then for that last 10 to 20%, really focus on your non-ball side. So for me, my left, bigger inhale. Exhale. Let it all go. So I'm really trying to fill up my left side body and get that last 10 to 20%. You'll feel like almost like a little bit of a stretch or zing at the end of your breath. Really aim for filling up all the way. Shoulders down, fill it all the way up before you let it all go. As you fill up to like 80%, your right rib cage is done. Your left side, non-ball side, you can get a little more air in. Exhale. Let it all go. Inhale. And exhale. That last like 10%, you're almost shaking. You're trying so hard to fill your body up with air. That left side lung. Contract it all the way back. Hug your ribs together in the front. Last breath. Big inhale. And exhale. Let it all go. You're almost like straining at that last 10% to really fill up. You stretch through those intercostals. So good for that movement. Okay, we're on the opposite side. Everything's stacked and aligned. Before we take the inhale to sink, and even our low belly, just kind of letting loose a little bit here. Exhale, pull it in, lat pulls down as the rib cage pulls off the ball. Inhale. Exhale, length into your spine. really falling out of place before we move through again. This is another one where that ball side is really being challenged to lift and pull away. So you end up working through one side of your rib cage more than the other. You might feel different on one side. You might notice one has less movement, one side of your rib cage has more. All really good things to be aware of, so you can improve and progress. 4 more. Inhale. Exhale, pull and lift off that ball. This also is great for as you start to gain your strength, you can head into those side planks, thinking that same pressure in the floor, same lift through the ribs, away from the floor. For 2. And last one. Let's fall the head all the way back too. Exhale, lift, nice and long and high, reaching the top leg, activating the glute. Also really important for that core, right? For 7, 6, 5, low belly in. For 3, 2, and 1. Bringing those knees in, and we're going to take a lie down on our backs. You can lose your Pilates ball. Lying on your back, we're going to start with our fingers out wide. Once your fingertips are out wide, we're going to cross left ankle over right knee. And then from there, we're going to jump our right foot toward the right side of your mat. From there, your knees fall toward your left, and you stretch through your obliques so as that side body. And we're going to take our eyes toward the right hand. From here, you fill up your right side lungs, and then your left even deeper, and exhale. Let it all go. You might feel the lower right quadrant more. You might feel the upper left. It's going to be different for everyone, but every time you exhale, we're going to sink and melt deeper into your mat. One more big breath. And let it all go. Maybe staying here for a couple seconds. And then we're going to get our head to neutral first. Lift our knees back to the ceiling. Switch those feet out. This time, taking a jump with our legs toward the left side of our mat. Our head is going toward the left side of our body. As we gaze at those fingertips on the left side, one side might be feeling tighter than the other. Always so good to be aware of that. Inhale into your left side first. Last 10 to 20 goes into the right. And exhale, we melt into the mat. That top foot really putting pressure on your knee to deepen your twist. Inhale. Exhale, melt. Take that tension away, stretch deeper. One last flare. Exhale, sink and let it all go. We are going to roll on up. I have one more just mobility movement exercise for us. It's my favorite one, especially for postpartum mamas who are breastfeeding or carrying babies and toddlers, and your posture is like this all the time. We're going to press your hands into the fronts of your knees. Come into extension through your spine, tail and back of the head, reaching away into an extended position. Big inhale. And set those shoulders down. Exhale, scoop, pull your pubic bone toward your nose. Knees pressing into your hands so you can really round out. A seated cat-cow. Inhale, open. Pull your scapula together in the back. Exhale and relax. I'm smiling because there's like so much tension through my upper spine. I'm sure you guys are feeling that. Those last couple inches, as you pull your scapula together, they're just so uncomfortable for your body to do if you haven't been practicing your best posture. Scoop. Press into those knees and lift up and away. tail shoots backward. You really want to have that extended posterior tilt. And pubic bone, towards your nose. And relax your body. Upper, thoracic, even maybe a little bit through your traps, just opening up. We're going to restack. We want to set those shoulders down. We always want to finish with our best posture. Core is in tight. Okay, as you continue your day, I really hope that you feel more movement through your rib cage. I hope that you feel your breath more and that you understand how your ribs and your core are connected so you can bring that into more difficult workouts, more mobility, and just your daily active life. Thank you so much for joining me on Abby Pilates, and I hope to see you guys soon.